The Conbini boys, they're the Conbini boys, they're the Conbini boys.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Matt, how's it going?
Well, 2 thumbs up, Mike. I am fully vaccinated. Got my second shot of Moderna last Monday, so it's party time, Mike. Actually, 1 week out. Got a 2-week period post second shot before you're fully immune. But no, can't wait to just butt naked party time all summer long. So all things are good over here. How are things over in Kurobe?
Oh man, Matt, I am doing so great this evening. I gotta tell you, I had one of the best days I've had in a long time, and let me tell you why. We took Leo to his first amusement park today. Oh yeah. And Matt, I don't know about you, but I think it's fair to say I'm one of the great lovers of amusement parks. Matt, of my good memories, which I'm having less and less each day, that sort of shining beacon of hope for me, that's Busch Gardens in Williamsburg, Virginia, Matt. I don't know if I ever told you, my dad and I, we'd go every year. One time we rode the Big Bad Wolf roller coaster 13 times in a day, Matt.
13 times.
It's got to be some sort of record, park record there. So, the amusement parks for me, they're like the premium, like joy, the premium amusement. And to take Leo today to his first amusement park was awesome. We took him nearby town, Mirage Land. A very small amusement park, but he had an awesome time. And just seeing him riding the rides, having fun, it was quite a day, man, I gotta tell you.
Everybody loves an amusement park, Mike. One of my great memories, going to Disney World, my dad waking us up at 5:30 so we could be at Space Mountain by 6 before the line formed. Got to go on it 3 times, back to back to back, because the old man had a plan. Yeah, it was. He did the same thing with the Tower of Terror, actually. And no, everybody. I've never been to Busch Gardens. That's supposed to be like the biggest. So maybe one day Leo takes a big old trip to Busch Gardens. But just imagine if an amusement park's concessions were run by the Conbini. Ooh, that would be something. Yeah, we'll think about that for a second.
Yeah, man. I gotta say, I am a fan of amusement park concessions, but you're exactly right. I think the Conbini getting in there would be on top of, sort of a step up for them. And I will say, before we get on with the show, Busch Gardens Williamsburg ranked most beautiful amusement park 20 years in a row.
20 years in a row.
So we can just do this as a non-paid advertisement, everybody. Man. You want some fun? You want some day out with the family? Williamsburg Busch Gardens, everybody. All right.
Like to see who's on that judge panel. It seems a little fishy to me. Anyway, yeah, we're not here to hawk amusement parks. We're here to talk Conbini here, Mike. And as usual, we got a lot to talk about. And last week we were in the courthouse making a case. I was putting Melon Pan on trial, prosecuting that item as highly overrated. I even called it bad. You were defending it. And it turned out that our followers, hey, I lost. You won the case, Mike. Melon Pan was voted decidedly good by an overwhelming margin of our followers on Twitter. So congratulations. But
Thank you. I will say, I think the final tally was maybe 70% to 30% in favor that Melon Pan is good, and I think that's also sort of the general ratio.
To be fair, this vote was conducted before people had a chance to hear my brilliant Nomar Garcia Parra versus Derek Jeter argument. So it's worth conducting that again. Just want to make that point there real quick.
That's true. It might swing more into my favor in that case. But anyways, Matt, so What are we talking about today then? Are we keeping up the trend of looking at items?
Yeah, so it got us thinking, what are some other overrated items at the Conbini? We talk Conbini like it's the greatest place on earth, and no doubt about it is, but that doesn't mean everything in there is perfect. Or at least it doesn't stack up to what its reputation is out on the street. So we thought, okay, let's take a look at some overrated products at the Conbini, give our take on a few. So that's what we're going to be doing today. But before we dive into that, we put the word out on Twitter. We asked our followers, what is the most overrated item at the Conbini? And I'm proud to say one of the first replies we got, Mike, was from Slade Meat Fist. He said, melon pan. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Wow.
No.
How's that?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he said melon pan. Am I doing this right? No, you're not doing this right. This is This is not the way that you should do this.
Then we had PJMOC, our great Conbini tournament analyst. He said Karaage-kun likes the flavor, but condensation in the container means by the time you eat it, it's usually soggy. That's true, but I'm not sure I agree with Karaage-kun because it just has this spectacular amount of flavors. Legendary product. I still think it's appropriately rated.
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Taco Chew, he said hentai manga. Hard to say that's overrated.
Overrated.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think most people do consider that to be atrocious garbage, so I guess you could still say it's overrated as atrocious garbage, something worse than that. We had definitely not a robot, say strong zero. Yeah, I think there's a good case to be made.
Yeah, there's a good case there. I agree. Yeah, good call on that.
Yes. Daniel Beck said canned coffee, as did Jen in Japan. Canned coffee stuff is nasty. She said that got 6 likes. Jen in Japan kind of felt like she was trolling me all week. Listen, if anything, canned coffee is so underrated. It's unfair. This product needs more attention. I don't know why people. I don't get it. I don't get it. You turn your brain on. Everybody, canned coffee is fantastic.
Yeah, it's sore spot for Matt. So let's move on that.
Then we had French fries from Jace. I don't really. Overrated? Does anybody even pay attention to French fries in the Conbini? Because they're next to Chicky, American Dogs, Yakitori. I think they're just
pretty
ignored.
Run of the mill. Yeah, I agree.
We had MR talk about salmon onigiri.
Wow.
Ooh, overrated. Yeah, I don't know. You might have something to say about that.
Salmon onigiri. Yeah, no. I think this person might have a problem sort of understanding the definition of overrated. I think this would be drastically underrated. And, well, I don't know. Depending on the person, right at the spot it would be, which is one of the legendary great items of the Conbini.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Next up here, Mike, we got Ted binge watching 2020 season 2 O'Neill. He said Slurpees. Slurpees, as we found out, there are like 2 Conbini in Tokyo that carry Slurpees, but I think he's mostly talking about the U.S. here. In which case, that's the only good thing at the Conbini, I would say. So I don't know. Yeah, and I guess it could be possibly definitely not over. Slurpees are incredible. Yeah, what am I saying? Slurpees are fantastic. Yep. Then we have Madie, who I called to the stand in my prosecution against Melon Pan. She said the sandwiches, which got 9 likes. Yeah, I gotta say, that's way off the marks. Conbini sandwiches are absolutely incredible.
Yeah, no, I agree. Wow, sandwiches. Okay, all right.
And then Baka Bacchus and Maydi said Famichiki. Yeah. And that got a collective 17 likes between those 2 tweets, Mike. So, shots fired. Yeah, well, 17 people don't know what the hell they're talking about. But anyways, all right, Matt. Well, so thanks for everybody for letting us know what you think on Twitter. But I think we're going to get into our picks. Is that right? Yeah, that's right, Mike. All right, so we each picked out 3 items that we think are overrated at the Conbini. So why don't we start off with your first one here, Mike? Let's see what you got picked out. Always a treat here to see what's going on in your world. Oh.
Yeah, Matt. I think you might see where I'm going with this. So this is one that sort of goes back to the Conbini tournament, and I think I'm just feeling still a little bit sore about this one. Matt, if you remember tsukune. So this is tsukune. What is tsukune? It's chicken balls that are pierced on a stick. And Matt, the reason I'm bringing this back is because if you remember, in the Conbini tournament, Tsukune actually won its first round as a 14 seed against none other than Oden.
Oh.
And it beat Oden pretty well. And, you know, when we were talking about overrated items, I was just thinking back to that matchup, and I just couldn't believe that more people thought that Tsukune was better than Oden. And so I had to say, we're talking about overrated items. This is incredible. I mean, this is nothing compared to Oden. And if people think that Oden is worse than Tsukune, then we got a big problem, Matt.
Yeah, if that's the measure up against Oden, no doubt about it, Tsukune was way overperformed in the Conbini tournament. But yeah, in general, I think nobody gets excited about Tsukune. It's just a ball of chicken that's skewered, especially when it's next to its brother Yakitori. Everybody gets the Yakitori. Who knows how long that Tsukune's been sitting there in the hot box just waiting. It's like an ugly cat in the old in the shelter, just hoping that one day somebody's gonna come and take it off the shelf and bring it home and love it. Yeah. Okay, Tsukune, interesting choice there, Mike. I'm gonna bring up my item next. Okay.
What?
Nikuman, Mike. Yeah. Let me be clear, ladies and gentlemen. Nikuman is one of the best products in the Conbini. If you go back to episode 2 or 3, we each share our top 3 favorite Conbini items. I believe I had Nikuman almost in the top 3. Now, Mike, I see you're grimacing there. I don't know. Maybe our friendship has just been destroyed. I don't know. But here's the deal. And I talked about this with Karen, and this is her argument, which I thought was brilliant. Nikuman is absolutely fantastic, but Pizzaman may be better. And Nikuman, it's so good. It casts a shadow greater than its goodness, and overshadows unnecessarily the Pizzaman. So Nikuman is outstanding, one of the best products in the Conbini, but I think it may just cast a little too much shade on a product that may even be better, the Pizzaman.
All right, Matt, I see what you're doing here. This is more sort of a semantic argument that's going on here. All right, so, well, I'm going to have to disagree. I agree that Pizzaman might be better than Nikuman. I will give you that. But I don't think that diminishes the stature of Nikuman whatsoever. But I do see what you're saying. Nikuman is sort of the matriarch of the family, the patriarch of the family. And yeah, sort of its children are sort of overshadowed by its presence. So I see in that sense that perhaps it might be a little bit overrated, but overrated, I don't know. So yeah, okay, but fair enough. I see where you're going with that.
All right, let's see what you got for your next one. Item number 2, overrated item number 2 from Mike. What do we...
Yeah, Matt. When this image just loads, I'll let you know. But Matt, let me explain what this is. Okay. So I know our audience is mostly people living in Japan, international people living in Japan, who are visitors to Japan. And for them, this might not apply. But for the greater Japanese public, This is very overrated in my opinion. What is this, Matt? This is cheese tara, otherwise known as chi tara. And what chi tara is, Matt, it's 2 thin layers of tara, which is a fish,
Codfish.
a dried fish, codfish, and then in between that is cheese. And you might be saying to yourself, like, well, that's fine, like, whatever. But Matt, I'm sure you know that in the Conbini snack section, this occupies way too big of a piece of real estate. I mean, half of the foods that you can get between beef jerky and cheeses, half of it is cheese tara themed items where you have this cheese and you have the fish. And many people, I think, have probably been confused at times. You go to a party, somebody pulls out some snacks and you're eating this cheese. You're thinking like, wait a second, I guess that's cheese. It tastes like cheese, but it's kind of a little bit too sweet. That's chi tara. I just don't think you need that tara. I want more cheese options. I think that people need to lay off the fish and mixing it with cheese. And so, Matt, for me, this is a big overrated item for me.
Yeah, I've never had chi tara, Mike, but it does look pretty gross. The idea of 2 thin layers of dried salted codfish sandwiching cheese doesn't sound very good.
Yeah.
Especially that whole section of the Conbini is outstanding. You got all kinds of stuff there. You got beef jerky, you got dried squid, and typically, you don't. It's like sort of RPG style. You don't really unlock that level of the Conbini till like level 20. People don't get there that quickly. And so if you were to step on this landmine as your first foray into the dried fish and beef section, that would be unfortunate. So I guess overrated. Sure, I hard to make a case against that one.
Yep.
All right, my number 2 here, Mike. Overrated item at the Conbini. It's Pocky. Pocky. I think Pocky is so overrated. It's ridiculous. It's not even as good as its savory cousin Pretz. Salad flavored Pretz. Are you kidding me? Way better than this Pocky. I don't know why Pocky has acquired this legendary status as a fun sweet. Maybe it's all the flavors. Maybe it somehow made inroads into the United States. And people associate it with Japanese culture. I don't know, but it's this flimsy, lame stick cookie cracker that's been dipped in chocolate. And when you got takenoko no sato, when you got Countryman cookies, when you got Black Thunder, all over that section, to see somebody walk out with Pocky is just disappointing to me. So I think Pocky way overrated.
Wow. So at first I was ready to argue with you when I saw this image. I do think Pocky is amazing and a staple of the Conbini and Japanese sweets in general. But when I heard your argument, I guess you're right. What is so special about Pocky? It's just a stick. It's got a little chocolate, and you eat it. It's it's not the taste so much. It's more just the fun of it, I think. But I guess in a sense,
Topo? Topo is better than Pocky. Topo is like the inverse of Pocky, where you stuff the chocolate inside the tube. I think Topo is better than Pocky.
Wow.
Nobody talks about Topo.
Fair enough. But I don't know. I mean, I like the place that Pocky's at. I think the name is doing a lot of work here, and the shape of it, just the fun of it. You pop the Pocky into your mouth. You share it. Hey, you want a Pocky? Boom, slam it in your mouth. I think that I think in general, I don't mind the sort of legendary status that it holds, and I enjoy Pocky. Anytime anybody gives me some, I think like, hey, I'm having a fun time now, And so in that way, I disagree, but I think you have some good points. Yeah, it is strange that this item, in what it is and it's like what it actually is, has reached this level of legendary status is a little strange. So I see where you're coming
All right. let's wrap it up here. You got one more item that you think is highly overrated here at the Conbini. Oh, yep.
Yeah,
No doubt about it.
This is another legendary Japanese item. This is a legendary beverage. This is Kalpis. What is Kalpis? Kalpis is a soft drink, I guess you'd call it. Well, it's not carbonated, but it's basically a juice that is the sort of color and sort of consistency of milk, but it's sweet. Matt, Kalpis is loved throughout the country and known, I'd say, internationally as sort of like a Japanese thing. I just don't really get it. I know it's getting to be summer and that's when it really shines, but it just doesn't really make any sense to me. And it's kind of like weird, like the sort of milky consistency and like look of it just kind of freaks me out. I'd never go into the Conbini and be like, wow, I could really go for a Kalpis. Like it just, but you know, people love it. You know, my brother is a huge fan of Kalpis. I don't understand it. It's very strange to me. I don't understand why it's reached this status. I understand in that I think the color, the sort of shock value of it does a lot of work. But yeah, man, this for me is just way overrated.
Yeah, I've never thought to myself when it's August, 90 degrees, 140% humidity. You know what? I could go for some fizzed up milk. Yeah, that's what's gonna refresh me right now. I think I've had maybe one Kalpis in my entire life, and I'm looking at that since 1919 on the bottle there. I think that might be the packaging date. It's not just the foundation of the company. Okay, Kalpis, totally agree with you there, Mike. All right. Last one here, overrated items. This is for me, tuna mayo onigiri here, okay?
Boy.
Tuna mayo onigiri.
Yep.
This came up in the Conbini tournament, Mike. We had umeboshi onigiri, 1 seed up against tuna mayo, which I think was an 8 seed, and tuna mayo blew right by umeboshi onigiri, and we went on to find out that tuna mayo is actually the most popular onigiri flavor at the Conbini throughout Japan.
Yeah.
Why? I don't really get it. Tuna mayo onigiri, yeah, it's good. I've eaten plenty of tuna mayo onigiri, but there are way better onigiri flavors out there. You got umeboshi. You got, not to mention, all the seasonal special edition onigiri out there. I just don't understand why canned tuna fish mixed with a slap of mayonnaise has become the onigiri champion in Japan. So I similar to it's good, but it's way overrated.
Yeah. Yep. Matt, you said it perfectly. As soon as I saw this, I thought, wow, yep. This is one that I actually would have picked up as well if I would have thought of it. You're right. The sort of its standing in the Conbini tournament was, blew us away, and I really don't understand it. Like you said, and I think that visitors to Japan or people who have a vision of Japan as like this isn't what they would think of, and I agree. Like I don't know where this came about. Well, actually, I do. We read Gavin Whitelaw's article, so we know how it came about, but. It's strange to me, Matt. There's so many good things, and tuna mayo onigiri. I don't understand what everybody's all worked up about.
Yeah, it's good, but it's not great.
Yep. All right. Well, Matt, thank you very much for those overrated items. All right. Well, let's head over to the Chickie Wars, but unfortunately there is no Chickies this week. So we're just going to head right over to the scoreboard, Matt. So first off, let's look at the scoreboard. I'll hit you with some numbers here. We got Family Mart, 47 items, Lawson, 30, 7-Eleven, 80, Mini Stop, 26, Daily Yamazaki, 8, Seiko Mart, 9, Poplar, we might have to get it off of here, Matt. We don't understand, 0, question mark, and New Days, 14 items. Any thoughts?
Not really. 7-Eleven taking a dip this week at 80. I'm sure they'll be back across the century mark next week. Otherwise, everybody's just playing right in their wheelhouse. So, maybe next week we just kick Poplar off and, maybe take a look back in a few more weeks.
All right. Yep. Sounds good to me. Okay, man. Well, let's head right over to our winners and losers then. We are going to start with your loser this week. So, Matt, I'm going to share the screen. And what are we looking at here? Boom. Oh.
Like we're looking at this is out of 7-Eleven. This is a salt ramen salad. Okay, so this is ramen. So we're looking at a nice big fat slab of pork chashu, some pickled bamboo shoots, and then you got some bean sprouts in there. But they're calling this a salad, Mike. I think because we have 4 leaves of what look to be arugula lettuce on top and a little cup of dressing, but I'm not so sure that isn't melted back fat in there. I don't know what they're trying to do, if they're trying to appeal to a healthy crowd by sticking some green on a cold bowl of pork fat. But, I don't know. This seems like smoke and mirrors here, Mike, and it doesn't look very good. If you're going to eat ramen, just eat ramen. There's no way you're going to make that stuff healthy. So that's my loser for this week, Mike.
Yeah, man. This looks really bad. This is cold?
Yeah, cold.
Ooh, boy. So you got those cold bean sprouts.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Those cold bamboo shoots and that cold chashu.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, Matt. This is not a great item here. Yeah, I don't know where they get off calling this a salad. Oh, this is cold? Cold. Oh, boy. Yeah, no. I don't want any part of this. This just does not look good at all.
Yeah.
All right, Matt. Well, unfortunately for 7-Eleven, they're getting 2 losers this week, Matt. And I'm going to explain what's going on here. Well, let me explain. So this, Matt, is the half-a-day's vegetable. Half-a-day's vegetables, spicy and sweet kimchi nabe. So, hey, all that sounds pretty good, right? Well, Matt, you know what? I was listening to a song recently. It was by the British rock band, The Who, and it was called I Won't Be Fooled Again. And, Matt, that's how I felt when I saw this item. Matt, I'm taking aim at this half-a-day's vegetable right here.
Okay.
This is a trend that's been going on for way too long, and I just want to call it out right now. Plus, this just looks like garbage to me, but hey, everybody has their own opinion.
Looks good.
So, Matt, you know that at the Conbini, it's hard to get vegetables, you know? It's hard to get good vegetables and good Conbini items. And so, you know, the Conbini's working hard to try to get some more vegetables in there. And this looks all right. You know, you got your tofu, you got some kimchi, and underneath it, you got that questionable cabbage. Yeah, but I'll give you here's the problem, Matt. When you get these items that say half a day's vegetables, what you usually get is you get some sort of pre-boiled cabbage, and then they sort of just dump a bunch in there, and then they add a little bit of flavoring. In the end, that flavoring does not reach that boiled cabbage. And so then you heat it up in the microwave, and you just get microwaved, pre-boiled cabbage that's just no flavor whatsoever. And that's my general feeling on these half-a-day's vegetables. They just throw some boiled cabbage in there, don't even care about the flavor, and they think, hey, this is a half-a-day's vegetable, it's healthy, we're going to charge you 500 yen, $5 of your hard-earned money. And Matt, I'm trying to say that I've had enough of this sham. These half-a-day's vegetables, you think you're getting healthy, instead you're just getting unoptimized items. And so, Matt, this is my loser for the week, and I've had enough.
I gotta be honest, all that explanation you did was making me kind of hungry. I think that sounds great. I like boiled cabbage with the kimchi flavoring. This looks really nice. You got the 2 big blocks of tofu flanking either side of the bowl. You got a healthy amount of kimchi. It looks like you got some pork slices, some green onion, and then, yeah, a big fat layer of Napa cabbage on the bottom, which I love. I think this is a great looking product, and to think that you get a half day's worth of vegetables in there. I know you're saying that's a sham, but yeah, it sounds like a pretty attractive product to me. So I don't know. I would entertain this. This looks nice.
Right. All right. I'm just sending out the word. This is my experience. That half a day's worth of vegetables never turns out how you like it. That's just my warning. But hey, you know, everyone do what you like. All right, Matt. So let's go on to our winners here. All right, we're going on to your winner first, and what are we looking at here? Boom.
Yeah, Mike. This is out of Lawson here. This is the Uchi Cafe series, and wow. You know what, Mike? I guess Christmas came early, and Santa thinks we've been some good boys here because we're looking at. This is like a dessert Uchi Cafe series haul here, and I don't know if I have this correct, but they are serving up a matcha tiramisu tart. So that's 2 desserts in one there on its own, ladies and gentlemen. We have a matcha tart. On top of that is a matcha tiramisu with the ladyfinger soaked in coffee on the bottom. Then you got the matcha whip on the top, and then whipped cream on top of that, dusted with matcha powder. But then, ladies and gentlemen, next to it is a 12-layer matcha crepe. Are you kidding me? You can get both of these for 420 yen? Are you out of your mind? What? Also, the color on these, Mike, is just absolutely outstanding. Matcha, of course, famous for its brilliant green color. And you're looking at every shade of green here. You got deep, dark forest greens. You got bright, almost lime green from that powder. You got more faint whispers of pastel green. It's just like, did Monet help design these products here? These belong in a museum, not on my plate. Absolutely great looking products. I can't believe you can get 2 desserts in one order. Wow, impressive stuff. Actually, it's kind of 3 because you get the tart, the tiramisu, and the crepe.
Good God, Matt. Damn, that 420 price tag might not be a mistake, Matt. Holy crap.
Yeah. An intern price this? What's going on here?
Holy good golly. This is $4.20 for these 2 desserts. Either of these could be priced at $4.20 just for the slice itself.
Yeah.
And you probably wouldn't bat an eye. Both of them look amazing. Matt, I've never seen this where you bundle 2 desserts together.
It's a bundle.
It's a bundle. This is a bundle. There's no doubt. This crepe, what did you say, 12 layers?
12 layers. 12.
And those are distinct layers.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. The variety of green here is just across the spectrum. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Matt, this is one for the ages, and that's saying a lot. This is Uchi Cafe, so, every week we're getting great items, but this is amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Spectacular.
All right, Matt, well, going on to my winner, something a little bit less spectacular, but a legend, no doubt. Matt, we're looking at, this is coming out of Family Mart. This is the Parisian Sand, the ham and cheese. Matt, this is so the Parisian sandwich, it's like a baguette that you cut, and then you cut a slice in that, and you put the ingredients in there. This one is the staple. It's the ham, it's the cheese, it's the lettuce and the mayonnaise. And Matt, they're calling this a new item, but give me a damn break. This is a goddamn legend right here. This is one that's been there since the beginning. This is an item that you can find in any Conbini, not just Family Mart. You can find it in any Conbini. The Parisian Sand, the ham, and the cheese. And Matt, we like to pick up new items and, give a shout out to them. But I like to give a shout out to the legends every once in a while. This is one that's gotten me through many a tough day. I go in there in the Conbini, I'm looking for something hearty. I'm looking for something that's going to fill me up. But it's got a little zing. And it's got some cheese and some meat. And that's when I go for that Parisian sandwich, Matt. You know, I love this. It's one of my favorite items at the Conbini. And yeah, so I just wanted to give a shout out to the legend this week. The Parisian Sand Ham and Cheese.
I'm a little worried about you, Mike. I think it's been a long time you've been living in Japan, and I know you can lose track of what a good sandwich is, and you clearly have lost track of what a good sandwich is. I mean, we're looking at 4 very flimsy slices of highly processed ham with some wilted lettuce in a baguette, and it might be time to come home. And get you a real sandwich. I'll take you to Bob's Italian down in Medford, and I'll get you some capicola, some salami with some hots on that. But yeah, I'm a little worried about you if this is what you're calling out as a great sandwich here, Mike.
Wait, Matt, let me rephrase this. I'm not calling this a great sandwich. I'm calling this a legendary Conbini item. And I think there's a big difference there. The content of this is not important. It's that this guy's been on that rack, in that little cooling rack, for many a year, Matt. The Parisian sandwich, ham and cheese. Get out there, everybody, and get it. Forget what Matt said. Don't even think about this as a sandwich. Think about it as a Conbini experience.
All right. We might need to turn off your mic before you lose all credibility here. All right. Those are our winners and losers for this week. And now we're bringing back a segment we haven't done in some time. It's What's the Call on the Haul. So actually, right before this podcast started, somebody tweeted a Conbini haul at us, Mike, and we're gonna I'll bring it up on screen. I'll walk our listeners through it, and then you're gonna give a rating to the haul, 1 out of 5 stars. So here we go. This is from Steven on the Move, and this is a Hokkaido specific haul out of a Sapporo-based Seiko Mart. Okay, this is from Hokkaido. What we're looking at here, okay, we have a pumpkin monaka ice cream. Monaka is that wafer cookie stuffed with pumpkin ice cream. We have a Sapporo Classic Tall Boy beer. Mm-hmm. For the main, we have a Katsu Don from their hot chef section. That's Seiko Mart's like giant hot box. They serve fresh hot items. And Katsu is fried pork cutlet sitting on top of rice. And then we have a guarana soda, which I'm not so familiar with, but okay, we have some sort of soda here. So, Mike, what's your call on this haul?
Matt, if we could just sort of do some sort of Photoshop to cut out that guarana soda, I'd be saying, damn.
Yeah.
We're looking at something good here, Matt. But, I started looking at the Kabocha Monaka. Wow. Now that looks damn good.
Oh, yeah.
Cycling, counterclockwise. I see that Sapporo Classic Tall Boy. Now that is a classic if there ever was one. Get up to about 12 o'clock and we've got that Katsudon, which is no doubt fresh. I can see it sweating a little in there. That looks amazing. And then we get back to about 9 o'clock here. And we see this bizarre soda. What is this thing doing in this picture? This looks like one of those photo bombs, where somebody comes in and they're like, just completely not related to anyone else. Matt, cut out that guarana, and I'm, hey, 4 or 5 stars. That's a damn good meal. I don't know. That's a meal right there. Throwing that guarana, I got to cut it down. I'm giving this 3 stars. I love it, coming from Seiko Mart, that's not something we see much, and so it's always great to get something from Hokkaido. But I just don't really understand that. Maybe I'm missing some context, but in general, 3 stars for me.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more here. really solid haul until that guarana comes up. We might have to do a full-scale investigation into what this guarana soda is. I think is it that rare African bean that made its way into Coca-Cola that came up? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, we'll have to look into that more. But hey, Steve, you did a good job. Just don't know what the hell that soda is.
Yep. Thanks, Steve.
All right, Mike, it's time to wrap up with our final segment. This is my favorite segment every week. This is At the Gemba with Mike. Mike, of course, you're at the Gemba, the place where the action happens. What product do you have to review this week?
Matt. It's been an interesting 2 weeks here for me at the Conbini. I've been on a chicky frenzy, there's no doubt. And Matt, a couple weeks ago, something came out, and that was none other than the cheese in Famichiki, which as we said, we'd had this before.
Yeah.
And it's nothing to write home about. Well, Matt, something happened. Something changed. Either they changed the flavor, they changed sort of what was going on in there, or my sort of taste has just fallen to inexplicable levels, which, with that Parisian sandwich, who knows. But Matt, I gotta say, this was really good. And I gotta tell you, I've had about 7 Famichikis since this came out, and 6 of them with the cheese in Famichiki, Matt. So I don't know what it was. I think they did something where they separated the cheese and that juice a little bit more. There's a little bit harmony going on now. And the cheese has a little bit more sort of distinct flavor to it, which I'm really liking. And Matt, this is when I first had it. I'm going to show you. This is also really good. Boom. Went and got.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
What a package.
What a package. And let me tell you, Matt, it's not just the chicky that was better. There's some additional thing that made this really,
looking
really
at
great.
the Famichiki burger, by the way.
That's right. Remember, I reviewed the Famichiki burger, which is just a bun with tartar sauce. Gave it 4 stars because you put the Famichiki in there, and it's amazing. So there you go. I got the bag, and Matt, look at that.
God almighty.
Oh, sorry. I should have put a little bit of not safe for work warning here, Matt. This is a picture of me halfway through here. This is the.
Whoa.
That's the Famichiki burger, the bun.
Whoa.
You can see the little bit of green there. That's that tartar sauce coming through. We got the Famichiki, and then we got that cheese just that
Cheese. Oh, damn. Good golly.
Yeah, Matt. So what I'm trying to tell you is this was great. This was good. It's not better than the Famichiki himself, but I think we have found the natural home for the Famichiki bun, the burger, and that is
interesting.
The cheese in Famichiki combined together. This is a 5-star for me. Without the bun, I give it 4.5 stars, Matt. I don't know if this is the diamond in the rough that we've been looking for, but I was very happy with this cheese in Famichiki from Family Mart.
Ladies and gentlemen, this photo here, I gotta say, this bun looks really good. It's got a lot of air bubbles in it. Looks nice and fluffy. That cheese, though, it is pouring out like a waterfall. Just this stunning bubble of melty cheese spilling down the face of this juice. And that chickie does look like a straight up water balloon right there. That thing is wet. That is a juicy boy right there. That thing got the super soaker treatment for sure. I gotta tell you, Family Mart, if they launched in the United States, served only chicky burgers, they would be the number. Nobody would be talking about Popeyes. Nobody would be talking about Chick-fil-A. Everybody would be talking about the chicky burger. This looks absolute. My first thought was, wow, I thought Chick-fil-A had a good chicken burger. They don't. This looks like the king of the jungle. I don't know what I'm talking about now, but yeah, this looks absolutely stunning, Mike. And wow, this looks wow.
Yeah,
I'm salivating. I'm actually salivating.
Yeah, man. I'll sorry about that. I got to tell you, Matt, super pumped with how that went. And yeah, we might have found our king, but I don't know. The hunt is still on for that 5-star cheese and chicky, and we'll see how it goes from here.
Well, what an exciting way to end the show here. Thanks to everybody for listening. We'd also give a shout out to our supporters who are buying us chickies. Crew of Japan, thank you. Jeff Bailey, thank you. Anonymous, thank you. Really appreciate your support of the podcast. If you'd like to support, please go to buymeacoffee.com/conbiniboys and buy us a chickie. Thanks to everybody for listening. Please share and rate the podcast so more people can find it. Also, check us out on YouTube where you can watch everything that we're looking at. Subscribe, like. We're on social media. You can follow us on Twitter. We're really active. Join the conversation there. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. If you have a Conbini memory, Conbini composition, head over to anchor.fm/conbiniboys and leave us a message. We'll play it on the podcast. Hey, thanks to everybody again. And Mike, I'll see you at the Conbini.
See you at the Conbini, Matt.
The Conbini boys, they're the Conbini boys, they're the Conbini, they're the Conbini, they're the Conbini, they're the